Yeah.
And so that sort of, gave me more feedback on the clothes. And obviously, I mean, if you do good sales, you have more money to join further to other bazaars.
And try again.
And then try, and then, try for other, venues as well.
So what is the best advice you got from a customer feedback that one of the good points that you received in this beginning?
I think the first was the packaging. Like, it makes a big difference if you sort of work on the hand tags, and I wasn't really that organized before, starting out, and so some consumers wanted, like some customers wanted, it's like, it'd be better if if you had a hand tag, or just those small things as well. So, but they liked the fabric, and then they also made different other suggestions as well, as like, why don't you come up with let's say like a cardigan. So I took those into consideration as well. So.
Okay, to start off with, how did you come up with, you're talking about hand tags, how did you come up with the logo, the Dean and Trent logo, the acorn or the squirrel?
I get asked that question a lot. The logo was actually, back in my childhood, when I lived in the States for a while, like we had this backyard, and there'd just be tons of squirrels all over. So I guess I took that quite randomly and made that as the logo.
Because it looks like an elegant creature.
And it does sort of work in one sense. There isn't really a specific reason why, but it does mesh along with the concept.
I guess because there are clothes that are, a lot of clothes lines have animals. Polo has a horse.
Right.
You have a squirrel.
Right. That was my version. That was my version of an animal. I guess the squirrel.
Lacoste has an alligator.
Right. So, but. I mean, that's the story behind it.
Okay.
So, but there's no really definite reason why I want to use it. But
okay, how about,
it looks nice.
Yeah, about Dean and Trent. How did you come up with the name?
Dean was actually represented, like, at that time, and I guess to some extent today, like certain icons or sort of people that I look up to in terms of fashion.
Okay.
And,
like Dean Martin.
Like Dean Martin, for example, or James Dean, just the clothes they were wearing, the classic casualness that they had, in their time, and so that was me linking up with that, and Trent was just sort of more of like a filler. It's like Dean and Trent, because Dean by itself wouldn't be. Like I said, I'm completely. Sometimes like the Dean.
He needs a buddy.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Good. So Dean and Trent and the logo. Then there you go. You have a brand basically.
Yeah. So okay, going back to bazaars.
Right.
Aside from customers giving you positive feedback, what about other bazaaristas, bazaar businesses who helped you? If you can name a few people who helped you and did, like, in the clothing line, like when you were there, were they helpful finding this network? And
when you join these things, apart from the consumers, a good point that you're bringing up is that you get to meet a lot of other bazaar owners that are completely friendly with you.
Yeah.
So you'll learn a lot of things that you wouldn't really learn, like I guess in a school or anything. Like they give you tips, and I think that's also a big reason why you should join bazaars as well. Like they'll tell you, well, here's a good supplier of, I don't know, plastic bags. Maybe you'd want to look into that. Or they'll also give you feedback on possibly other bazaars that you may want to join. Or what do you think about this department store? Is it good? Like, what are the terms that you would? I mean, it's really an open conversation with, as long as it's. I mean, it's a good sort of forum, I guess, to meet other owners as well, because you're starting out basically at the same level as they are, and it's interesting to see where they go from there because of the conversations you've made.
So are you telling the viewers here that being in a bazaar is like being in a school for business?
It is a very informal type of setting
where
you learn a tremendous deal about your customers. You also, you learn about other brands as well, how they started out. So it's interesting and it's exciting, So.
Okay. And then while you're in the bazaars, how did you promote Dean and Trent?
Back in that, I say this like a long time ago, but it was really through. Well, Multiply was a big thing a couple
Yes.
years back. You know, not as much today,
Yeah.
but so people that would log on to Multiply would sort of also attend the bazaars as well, and the actual bazaar promoters would sort of get it out,
Yeah.
try to get it through newspapers and stuff. But of course, you have to also do it yourself through emailing,
Yes.
through text messaging. I guess all the other traditional means are really just too expensive, right? It's not like
Yeah.
you're a small brand, you can't do a billboard, but if you have a really good network of friends and, you know, if you market it properly through Multiply, I think, you know, it's a doable thing that you'll get a lot of customers showing there.
I think one of the things I want to know, and I think the viewers want to know, is also, is getting to Multiply or making a website difficult? I mean, if I don't know programming, I'm scared of going to the internet, is it rather tough to upload pictures?
It is not. I think somebody opens a Multiply, new Multiply store every day.
Yeah.
I mean, especially here in this country where there's just a big amount of just, you know, entrepreneurs, you know, that sell just random items. When I started out, along with all the other brands right now that are in department stores, they used Multiply as a platform, really, to just get their goods out as well. People think it's hard, but it's, logistically speaking, it's really easy. The mode of payment is usually cash on hand or the Globe G Cash.
Yes.
If you have any problems, just either email or text. You don't really need a huge e-commerce system.
So it's another venue for feedback.
It is also a venue for feedback. But the starting up, the barrier to entry is just really small. I would say it's just having the patience to just make a well-designed site and taking pictures of your product properly and making sure that your site has a consistent theme and that people continue to visit your site through either your updates or through emailing them. I mean, it's really easy.
Yeah.
I would say it's easier than it's ever been.
So the learning curve isn't so difficult.
No. I guess it's just finding the right product that a majority of people either want more of or don't have yet.
Okay.
And then figuring out how to get that product and figuring out how to sell it. And the internet is just one of the many channels where you could, you know, utilize to do so.
So did you get any help making the website?
No.
No.
I mean, just Multiply.
Wow,
just
that's
really,
interesting.
No, now with Facebook, I created a Facebook page a couple of months ago. With Facebook, I think, and Multiply, which are, I mean, they're really helpful, having an interface that's
very intuitive.
Just for the layman, really, you know.
Yeah.
And it's up to you to really just figure out how to sort of add more marketability in terms of how the products are displayed. I mean, instead of using like a digital camera, you may want to use like a friend's SLR. You may want to include like a video just to drive the point across. So there's different levels of how polished a site can be, and I think Multiply allows you to do that.
Before this interview, I remember you talking about a bazaar friend, like one of your customers, who shot photos for you. Can you tell me more about that? I think that's more fascinating, going into photographs, you're saying, having your pictures well documented and well taken.
I guess I
found it an interesting story.
I have to blame that. I have to blame reality TV for that. Now I think these days everybody wants reality brands where people want to see how something is made.
Yeah.
They want to see if it's homegrown.
Yes.
So a lot of the stuff that I have on the website goes into sort of a behind-the-scenes look on what's happening. So I will take pictures of certain swatches right before they're even made into the final product. And so a real intimate experience, really, just going back and forth with the customers. And
Authentic,
I think it adds to the authenticity, and at the same time, you're connecting it to your consumers in a way that, you know, makes them feel really better about the product because they feel they have a connection to it. I guess that's what, I mean, it drives across.
Yeah,